Hey, it's Luke, warehouse manager, and I wanted to talk to you about the ScramJet bottom brackets. So they're external cut bottom brackets, and I used to run an external cut bottom bracket on. I had a Ritchie Swiss Cross, the cantilever version, and I love that. It was a rip. And I had some SRAM rival cranks on there, and the external bottom bracket was fine. It's just that I noticed there was a higher likelihood of grit getting in there and it getting all gunked up. Like I'm running square taper now. I don't think that any standard is better. I think that there are certain concessions to be made, whether you're running a square taper, you're running something with outboard bearings. But for the purposes of this, I like square taper, but that's because there hasn't been anything traditionally that could prevent outboard bearings from getting as gunked up as quickly as they have. But we have the ScramJet we carry here from IRD. Here's a cute little box for purposes of a prop, and then I have the actual mounting bracket here. And now, what makes this different? So it has a single ceramic ball in there with other steel ball bearings. Now, this isn't really done in the bike industry. It was many years ago. Actually, SRAM came out with some pulley wheels that had a single ceramic ball and all steel balls in there. And there was kind of an uproar at the time because everyone viewed it as a way for SRAM to just save money. They didn't look at it as anything useful that could increase the longevity of the pulley wheels. Actually, John Hertzberg of Wheelsmith fame, he kind of brought it back around and corrected the perception of people at the time by making it clear that what was happening with that single ceramic ball in there, illustrated here by this nifty diagram, is that the ceramic ball is harder, more brittle actually, but harder than the steel race and the steel balls. And there are a couple things that happen as a result. It actually pulverizes whatever debris gets in there. So what was happening with the SRAM pulley wheels is that ceramic ball was pulverizing the grime that was in there. Something the steel balls couldn't because they're a bit softer but stronger. And that's also what happens with the IRD ScramJet. So there's a single ceramic ball in here that, since it's harder than the race and harder than the steel balls, can crush, pulverize the debris that's in there and actually reform the race, which is softer than the ceramic ball. But the negatives of having all ceramic balls, that's avoided. Because they're so hard, they are brittle, and when they contact each other, they shatter. But when you have a single ceramic ball with these stronger steel balls that aren't as hard, they work well in this system. And all the debris in there is done away with. Now, it stays in there, so I don't want you to think when I say done away with, it's ejected or anything like that. That isn't the case. But it just stays in there and isn't a contaminant that causes any further problems. Like it would be like in a like all the outboard bottom brackets that I had, that maybe I rode in all conditions with no fenders. So I want to be clear. Bottom bracket is low to the ground. It's exposed to the elements. This isn't me saying that there's a bottom bracket that is an absolute perfect bottom bracket. I mean, we haven't had any returns on these and no reported problems. So I'd like to think that this is as close as you can get. I don't want to get a little bit, I don't want to get too high and mighty about that, but this does fix a major problem. And I think it does so really beautifully too. I mean, this is at the bottom of your bike, it's hidden by your crankset, and yet this is jewel like. It is made in Japan by Tange for IRD, and there's a reason we carry it, and it's because we stand behind the hybrid ceramic steel ball bearing system, and we've been mightily impressed with it, given its self-cleaning and kind of self-healing properties. I think it's pretty special, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I think it's worth checking it out. Um, got a few variations. I picked up the one that's got the kind of beautiful red anodized going on. Um, anyway, hope to hear from you, and I'll be seeing you soon, probably in another video.